Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook we normally do. Hopefully, I can do it every Friday. We have an ongoing course now, so I managed to get the time to do it today. Hopefully, we can, continue this every Friday. I know Friday afternoon is a tough time for some of you. People in New Zealand, Australia, probably asleep by now, right? And some of you are just waking up in the US and you have to go to work and all of that. If you, for some reason, can't attend live, you do watch the recording. I checked we get up to 5,000 people watching it on YouTube. I think there is a lot of more people who would like to see the videos, but they don't have access to it. So it will be good if you guys could share it with friends. Anywhere you share it, that's okay. So let's go. Let's start. I want to start with New Zealand today because we've been talking about this for a long time. I've been showing you guys and telling you guys, don't worry with that up move. It's pushing up, but ignore that because it is going to come down back. Well, don't worry if you're not in as yet. We are in. My group is in, and it's a trade call we made. But if you're not in as yet, don't worry. It hasn't really moved that much. We're talking about a very huge correction here. It hasn't even broke out of the smaller trend we are looking at. That is this trend. So you have a chance there will be pullback on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. I'll post those updates for you guys, post those trade. Wait for that pullback, join in, and this is the big move you don't want to use, right? This is the next big move you don't want to miss. Something like this, right? We just started that move, so they will pull back. You don't have to worry about that, and you're going to have a very nice move. Then if it breaks this structure, which we are expecting it to do, to break this structure and go, we will be retesting this low, which means you have a next couple hundred per 1,000 pips to get, right? So if this is the start of the move, I don't know that that is the start of move. We're going to break this low, so we're going for more than 1,000 pips, and we will keep that trade. If it starts to make a very deep pullback like it made here, then we will exit the trade and we will post updates on the trade as it's going. So right now we are in and we're keeping. If you're not in, wait for a corrective structure, then get in. This was the main corrective structure that I posted. If you were following the updates on my chart, it was in there, right? I posted it on the update, sell. You had a second. This wasn't a very nice one, but if some people may have taken, now you can wait for a 4 hour correction. Go to the 4 hour, wait for a 4 hour pullback, and then sell. It will make pullback. So if you're in the trade, you have two options. One is to exit and take your profit, wait for the pullback, and then sell. For most of us who trade long term, we will just keep the trade, let it go, right? Let it just run. You can't lose in that trade. You're break even, right? So we don't know how far and how long it is going to go. Remember the number one rule in trading. And I want to stress this for everybody because I get calls from people who are in really serious trouble with their trade and they're like, what should I do? And the first thing I ask them, where's your stop? And then you hear, well, I don't have a stop on it. And that is the biggest and the worst thing you can do as a trader, because there is only one single thing you have control over, and you have absolute control over it. Unless something really crazy go on. But even if something really crazy go on, you can always make the argument with your broker that you had a stop there. And some brokers do respect your stop. That is, you can control how much money you can lose in the market. You don't have control over anything else. You can control how much money you can lose in the market. That's absolute control you have. You put a stop, and that is what you're going to lose. How much money you're going to make depends on how the market goes, right? Depends on the strategy you're using, depends on your risk to reward, depends on a lot of other factors. You don't have control over that. But we do make forecasts as to how much we expect this to go. And then you wait to see if the market is going to behave that way. If the market behaves that way, you keep following it. If the market does something else, and that is possible, you will be taken out for positive because you would have moved your stop if you're already going in your direction. You may have less profit than you expected, but that's okay. That's part of trading. If you're a short-term trader, you will take the profit where you think it's starting to come back, because that is where your take profit was, and that is also okay, right? There are different strategies you use to trade. As long as your strategy is a profitable one, it is okay. You can keep using it, right? So that is, we have different strategies. Most of my traders will take profit over the weekend. Nobody wants to keep it over the weekend. I just move them to break even and keep them, right? And it's okay. So far, I've never had anything dangers happen to it, to any of those. So so far I'm okay with it. I wasn't in the Swiss when it falls, so I can't tell you what would have happened then. And I hope nothing dangerous happens to the Aussie or something very nice happen in Australia and in New Zealand, and this, New Zealand dollar starts to get very strong. I don't think that is going to happen, right? So keep your eyes on this one. We're in it. I also want to show you two more trades that with New Zealand in them that we were talking about. One of them is the Euro New Zealand. We've been talking about this for a while. Watch for that big trade up, and I'll put it in a daily because it's a daily structure we're looking at. That is this very sharp impulse up, a corrective structure down, and we are anticipating this move up. So I posted this one from here, expected it to go to the 786 and then up. We started this up move here first. Remember that? We were in that trade. And that one didn't turn out well. Well, when I said didn't turn out well, that's relative, which means we got very small out of it. It didn't, I was in it and I kept it, and it didn't turn out well for me, which means it took me out for profit, but not definitely, because that thing moves from where we got in, from the break of this structure, I think was somewhere here. It did move a nice 300 pips up. So I gave up some of that, right? Because I got in the breakout here. Let me just show you where. Right, somewhere in here. So I got maybe 20, 30, because I kept the trade. I thought it was going to go. Now we're getting a second attempt of it going again. So I didn't get in this one as yet because I was looking to get in at this level here. I missed it because the move went very sharp, never gave me a pullback. But I will get into this trade. Same thing, I'm waiting for a correction like this. I'll get into the trade, let it go to positive, put it to break even, and leave it. Right? It will be the same thing. So what I would like to see first is that they break out of this trend here, this bigger trend coming down. Now, if they give me a correction in here, we'll pause that, we'll take the trade, and we'll see what happens, right? I will have a stop to tell me where I'm going to lose, and I'm willing to always do that. So this is trading, right? So, this is what we're going to do. And if this goes, we will be one happy people, because once it breaks this is the next resistant point. Well, not resistant. This is the next place where we'll be watching it for serious turn back. That is a trend line. The trend line is more of a place where the pattern changes. And the reason the pattern could change here is because this would be in 1, 2, 3 wave expanding flat structure, right? So if we look at it there, this is where we will look for problem. Once it crosses this trend line, go to that trend line, that's where we'll be looking to see whether the pattern is ending there. If the pattern doesn't end there and it breaks out, we are keeping that trade like forever. You can, if you had kept this trade here forever, which we didn't keep forever, but if we had kept that trade forever, right? See the breakout, watch for the breakout, and that was a trade you would have kept forever, which we didn't keep forever. I can say that now. We didn't keep that trade for all that move. We did take profit out of it, good profit, but not that we should have. This one we are going to keep because this one is giving us extra clue. It is telling us we have an impulse, we have a correction, we should get one more impulse to retest this stop. Right? If there's anything you learn in my group, you'll learn that you'll get an impulse, you look for an impulse, you would look for correction, and you'd look for your next impulse. This is your trade. And that is the trade we are trying to get. Now, we don't trade the daily chart, so we're trying to get that trade way down from the 60 minutes and at the 4 hour. But if there is a daily impulse to come and there wouldn't be a very big correction, we will stay in that trade. If there is a big correction, we will get out of the trade because it will break the 240 trend line and we will be out. Right? So basically, those two I wanted to show you, and the pound New Zealand as well, but it's not very, not the pound New Zealand, the Aussie New Zealand, sorry. Those were the 3 trades we were focusing for a while on. Aussie New Zealand. Same here. As usual, when you post something, people who do nothing but troll starts to troll crazily, right? Because we made this first attempt for a breakout. We had the breakout here. That didn't go well. You remember I said buy the 618. We bought it. Those who bought the 618 got a break-even trade. Those who bought higher, they took a loss. That's okay. That's part of trading. It came down, make a lower low. We're still looking to see whether it's going to go. Now we wanted to break this structure first. So don't go in the trade too early. If you took this early one, that is a short trade. You should get out of it at least, or move it to break even and take out. But if it breaks this structure here, it's coming down and they could make a low again. We're anticipating one more possible low. But if it starts to break here, we would look for a trade back to the trend line, put it to break even, and see what happens. If New Zealand is going to make that big fall, I think this will go up because New Zealand will be coming down faster than Aussie. And that means we will get this trade. So those are the 3 trades. This one also has a very big move to the upside. Sometimes it looks like it's taking long to come, right? But you know, if you have the patience and you know what you're doing, you're likely going to have this trade. This was a big move up, and we were anticipating a big move up here also, right? And by big move, I mean a move out of this structure, way up to the top here, and then probably breaking out of the structure all the way to the top here. So those are big, those will be daily trends. So we could trade them daily. Every day you could come in and take a 60-minute trade to the upside, get out, take another 60-minute trade to the upside, get out, and we will do that regularly in our webinars, right? So you will have enough time to do that. I'm just showing you them because we're looking at these structures and trying to figure out where they will go. And that is what we look at mostly here, right? Those 3. So the rest of them, those 3 are important. The rest of them, we will go through pretty fast to see where there are possible trades for next week, right? These are like long-term trades, and we will still post updates on TradingView. I think all of you know where my TradingView profile is. I think some people in here may not know that, so I'll just show it for a second. You can click on my name. You should do this. You should do this if you're going to follow me. That is what the first thing you should do. You should do that for anybody you're going to follow. Look at my charts, take 100 of them, and check, see what happened to them, right? Pick 100. Make sure you at least check 100 charts. Do that the weekend. 100 charts, click on it and see what happened to that chart. Did it actually work out? Did it do what this guy said it's going to do? Because if you don't do that, you wouldn't know what type of person you're following, right? And if I'm following anybody, that is the first thing I'll do. I'll go to his work, take 100 charts, click on them, see what he's doing, see whether what he's doing makes sense. Does this guy have any idea what he's doing or not, right? So you may want to do that. And I think you should do that if you're going to follow me, because I don't want people to blindly follow me. I want people to follow me who knows what they're doing, right? I like smart people to follow me, put it that way, right? You go check my charts. I'm opening it for you. Go check them. If you like it, click a like. I really don't need points. As you can see, I'm not taking the likes or points, but it shows appreciation that at least you like the chart, you like the method, you like what has been used in it. We got so much repetition there, we don't need more. But it's good, especially new charts. If you can like it, it keeps the chart on top, and that is really good. Let's go. Dollar index. Let's start. Dollar index, as we said last week, if you remember, watch it. They can make a 1, 2, 3 to the low, and we didn't think so low. I thought 618 was where they'll probably come, right? They'll probably make a 1, 2, 3 to about the 618 and then turn to the upside. They did drop pretty low all the way to the trend line, and they're going up back. So next week, I'm expecting dollar index to continue to the upside. So watch for this breakout next week, right? Watch it for that breakout. I think it's going to continue to go up. This structure, we spoke about this structure. It could have a 5-wave within it on the daily. And as you can see, it's working. That's the good thing. You're here weekly and you can see it. My traders see this twice daily, sorry. All my traders in my trading room get to see updates on this chart twice daily when we do our 2 daily webinars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we're looking for the 5th one here. This is the big move we're looking for. And that is the big move we should get on all the other charts we're looking for. So keep an eye on that one. When it comes to the top, it will tell us what it's going to do. It's going to break through and keep going, or they're going to make one more down. I am anticipating one more down, because this 5-wave structure, either very sharp to break the low, or as a corrective structure somewhere in here, and then go back up. We will go into the details of that next time, not now. That is either this is a leading diagonal or it is a corrective structure. We wouldn't know that until it plays out. Euro. Similar structure. We're looking at this. Let me go to the daily, show you the daily structure. The daily structure is in a big kind of a sideways move. So 2 things we can look for right now. If the dollar index keeps going up, and I think that is what will happen, we will break this structure here, this up move here. We're going to break this and come down. Actually, it's not exactly like that. It's like this. I just changed it for some reason. I'll redo that later. Right? We can break this move. First, we're going to watch this trade to the downside. It is a sell setup. Watch it to the downside there. And then they may break through to the low. If they do, this would be a good trade, and this is already a good trade. So let's look at that trade and see where we can get in that trade. 1 hour. I'll go to the 4 hour. For those of you who are in the sell, you're okay. The sell was on the break of this structure. I hope you saw that. I didn't post it. Right, this was mostly in my trading room. We spoke about this morning. The break was in that one. If you took this trade, you're okay. If you haven't taken this trade, wait for this to go some more, make a pullback, and then look on the 1 hour for a trade setup. Don't jump in at the bottom here, because that is where it could turn to go back up. Right? It has to give you the confirmation that they're going to go down. 4 hour, this can turn to go back more within the structure. You can see there is place for it to go up more and retest the top. So if you're in the trade, you move to break even. If you're not in the trade, wait for a chance to get in, or just let's see what it will do. Right now, it's not very clear downside. But if dollar index breaks out, this is going to take for a big move to the downside. So if it makes a correction, you look for a sell setup. Right, we'll be looking for a sell setup. The setup is over. Now it's Friday afternoon. The sell is gone. You don't want to be in that sell now. This was a sell we did in our trading room. Pong. Pong, pretty much we were looking for this correction to the downside. This is not new. There's nothing on my Pong chart because we are using this chart in our training course. So I had to take everything out. And we're looking for this down move here. I am more convinced that Pong is going to make one more move up within this structure, and then we're going to look for downside. So there is a buy setup in the Pong next week. Look for it. I will post this one out on TradingView. There is a buy setup coming. I don't think this will break. This one, Pong may move different from the rest of the chart. Pong is still in. Remember when it was here, I was saying Pong is going to go up. It is going to move different from the rest of the chart, right? We broke this structure here. Everybody remember we had this. We thought they were going to go down for a fifth one. They make the up, wait for pullback. We're going to get a buy setup. We'll be looking for this trade next week. So you want it to go down, you want it to give us a buy setup here, and then we would look for that trade up. If it does break, which is rare, I don't think it should. But if it does break, we will have to wait for it to break. We'll have to wait for it to pull back, and then we'll be looking for a sell setup. Either of these two I'll post, but I think this is the one we'll get next week. So we'll be looking for that trade up next week based on this structure. Aussie. I think all of you know we were looking for Aussie to come down. It didn't come down here. It actually went up some more, very much, almost very close to the top. Now it's coming down, and that is we broke this trend line already. By the way, if you're following some people who are, I really don't want to go into calling names again, because who are kind of thinking they're wave traders, they put their trend line like this, and that is incorrect. I would not go into details. I'll just tell you that is incorrect, right? So look at this. Watch this trade. It's coming. Any pullback here now, you can sell. Once it hit this trend line, you're going to watch for bounce or you're going to watch for break. I think it's going to break. So if I'm not in this trade, but if I get in and when I get in, because I would likely get in on a pullback, right? I would be watching for a breakout of this. And we think most likely if it breaks this structure, we're going to get a very big move back to the low. Now, if New Zealand is going to go down, if New Zealand does what we think it's going to do, then very likely Euro and Aussie will follow. So we will get this big move. It all depends on Monday, and Monday is not so far away. Let's see if we break this structure to the upside. Because if we break that structure to the upside, we will get all these moves to the downside. This one, watch it when it comes back to this trend line. There is a trade. Actually, next week, there is a trade back to the trend line here. And at this point, it would either go back up or it's going to come down from here, right? So one out of the two, we will get a trade to the downside next week. I think it's easy. We can wait for a 1 hour pullback and next week. Wait for a 1 hour corrective structure. It's already kind of starting. Wait for something like this. And then we'll take that trade. So if you follow me in TradingView, I'll post this out as well. Right? Once we see this structure here, we'll look for a trade. You're going to get a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. We'll look for it and we'll give you that trade. Right? There is a trade to the downside. So that is next week's trade. After that, we're going to follow it to see what it's doing. New Zealand, we finished. Let's look at Swiss. Don't try to trade the Swiss. It's in the middle of nowhere. She's in the middle of this pattern. I think they should break to the upside. This structure should break out. We spoke about that last week. A 1, 2, 3. We thought they were going to give us a 4 and then come down for a 5. They could still give us a 4 and come down for a 5. They haven't taken the top, so this could still come back here and then come down here. You see, this one was a 1, 2, 3. You have a 1, 2, probably 3, and you may get a 1, 2, 3 back to the low. So right now where it is, you really don't have a very good risk to reward trade. That is why I said leave it alone, because even if you get a flag here, even if they give us a flag here, the risk to reward would not be very good. It's going to be pretty much a 1-to-1 risk to reward trade. So probably leave it. Let them break out of this flag and then we'll come back. And if there are better trades to take, then you probably risk your money on something that is much easier to trade than something that is, difficult to trade. When it gets to the top of the pattern, that will give us a good sell setup. That's a better risk to reward trade. CAD is the next one you probably want to stay out of. You can see why. This is some kind of a complex pattern. I think we may be looking at a running flat here. I'm not sure. We don't have enough information for that. So stay out of the CAD. At least we will stay out of the CAD. It's going up, but at any point, this could turn to the downside. So the best thing to do is stay out of it. We don't have a confirmed selling structure. Right? Yen, let's go to the yen. Yen is in, let me just show you the structure. It's in the middle of nowhere. Let's take everything out from here so you guys could see clearly what I'm saying. I'll give you in. We're making a corrective structure, and I think this is a big corrective structure like this one. See this here? That's a big, so we are probably making a big corrective structure here, come back to the top, and then one more impulse down, right? I think that is what they're doing. And then we will have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, right? So maybe that is what they're doing. It looks very much like that because they didn't break the low, which means that this move may continue to go up to break this top. And that will give us a 1, 2, 3 wave structure before they come back down, right? So we can look for buy setups. We'll have to wait for it to make a flag. I would like to see a much better one, not these very small ones. I would like to see it come here and make a bigger flag like this. This would give me the buy setup, right? Now, sometimes the move starts to look like a flag. When the move is starting, you had an impulse to the downside. I think you can see this one here. That was a sell setup, by the way, in my trading room. And then we took that trade. Traders should already be out of that. Then it started to do this. So we thought we were going to have one more within this move coming down. It did that and it starts to reverse. That is okay. We're not in the sell. That is okay. You never know when this move will finish. You can't make a forecast when that move is finished. It's finished when it broke out of the structure. That's it. When they break out of this structure, the move is over. It's gone. That means you should be out of the trade. But you can't make the forecast as to when this is going to finish because this could continue to go. They could have done this and then do that and then do that and then turn to the upside. So every time we see something that looks like a flag for one more impulse down, we will make an attempt to sell it. If it breaks, we will be in the trade. Right? If it doesn't break, that's okay. We leave that to the trolls and Euro Yen, right? I posted that trade and everybody started trolling. One guy said he makes money selling, doing the opposite trade that I do. It's fun to watch his account. I don't think he has a live account, but if he has one, I'll be very happy to see it. I'm pretty sure he's in the webinar here listening to me right now because those trolls make an attempt to be in here. So if you're brave enough, two things you need to do. Put your name out like I do and show me your account. Mine is on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you're not going to do that because you know that what you're doing is trolling, right? But we'll leave it to him. You know, when people hide under something like that, you know, they're just miserable as it is. Yep, I like the challenge. And if he wants to challenge me, we will open. I'm willing. Here's a challenge I can give to that troll. You're so good, I will open an account now and take every trade that I put out. And I want you to do the opposite on your account. Let's put those two accounts out open on TradingView for everybody to see. The troll knows himself. Identify yourself and come to me. Let's do it. I would love to see how fast you go bankrupt. You want to take the challenge? You take the opposite trade I post? Let's go. The challenge is on for you. If you have what it takes to do that. I'm not sure you have what it takes to do that, but if you have it, you know those things they play with, they play soccer with, or they play football with. You have them, let's go. Yes, I'm willing to take. I will open an account specially to take every single trade I post there and the triggers, and let him go the opposite direction. If he's man enough for it, let him come on. They wouldn't. I know it's troll, but I like to pull the troll. He's a real person, right? So you can answer him. You can pull his leg. Say, come, let's do it. If you're brave enough. He has, he knows he has a brain. He's not that stupid, but at least he will learn something. Yep, this is a good trade, by the way. I'm in this trade. It's a trade I didn't post out, but I'm in this trade. I took this trade from the breakout here. If you guys remember, I was always looking for the upside in this trade for a long while, and I said watch for the breakout at this point here. Last week I was saying watch for this to break out here. It didn't break out here. They actually made a very strong move down. It was a little surprising because I thought this was enough consolidation for it to go. So what I saw was when they hit the bottom here, they started to make this corrective structure. It's an impulse to the downside, but it's a structure that tells you they're going to turn. So I took the turn here, and this one turns out pretty good. I'm still in that trade, and I'll just move it to break even today and leave it. If they start to come down, I don't think they're going to make one sudden fall, but if it starts to come back here, and it could do that within this structure, I'll probably wait for them to make something like a flag here and get out of it. Right? I can't lose in the trade. Right? I can't lose in this trade. So we can actually, if they start to come down back, we will get a sell. But I don't think it's going to come back because I'm looking for what technical traders call head and shoulder pattern. We call them impulse, correction, impulse. An impulse down, a correction up, and an impulse down. This is an impulse up, a correction down, and another impulse up. So remember, this one has an Aussie inside, and Aussie's coming down. So hopefully Aussie comes down faster than the euro, and we get this trade to go. If this trade goes next week, it will break out of there. And the trade you want to focus on would be this trade all the way back to the top of to this stop here. That would be the first place where they can change the structure to something else. Right? Which means we can be within a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and go down. Or this is a 1, 2, 3. This is a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and we go up. This is a 3 wave within the corrective structure, right? And then we go up. Either way, I don't know which one it is. I can't say. There is not enough. It's not breaking any tops or bottom. It's not making any structure. That is very clear. But eventually it will do that and we will have the idea which way it's going. For now, look for the upside. This upside is good. Let's look for the upside. We'll get this trade, and probably it's going to go much more higher. But I'm looking for this short trade first. When it gets here, I think we could get another pullback and then go. So, very good trade. Already a lot of profit in it, and let's go. Euro and New Zealand. We're looking to get into this. I show you guys. I'm not in it as yet. I'll post this as it happens. We'll get in it. We want the correction to go. Euro Chiefs, stay out of this. This is what we think it could do. We showed it last week. It probably climb up slowly. They didn't climb slowly. They broke it and they're going back up. So when it gets to this top, it will talk to us because that structure should come down. This structure at this level here should break to the downside. That is like this one here. Saw that? It should break to the downside. But there is a chance that if all the euro pairs are going to go up, that is, if euro Aus goes, if euro New Zealand goes, if euro, which one else? If euro yen goes up as well, which could possibly go, then there's a very high chance that they're going to break out of this structure and continue to go. And we will have a 1, 2, 3 correction rather than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corrective structure. By all means, this will go up either from here or from the bottom here. So the question is from where it's going to go up. We'll keep track of this. We're not going to trade it until it breaks out or until it gives us a sell setup. Right now, let it go. There's no need to trade that little piece. Let them break out of the structure. Give us a buy setup and we will take the trade. If all the euro pair goes, that means we may see euro staying within the consolidation rather than go down. Euro may just stay right where it is, going sideways. And all the other pairs will move. So if Aussie goes down, New Zealand goes down, Swiss goes up, and the euro does nothing, all the euro pairs will move. We'll come back to all the euro pairs. Euro yen I showed you guys already. This is the one the trolls are going crazy over. So let's look at it in detail. I'll start with the monthly. I'll show you something that you hardly ever see me doing here. That is the monthly chart. This is an ending diagonal that ended this corrective structure in relationship to that impulse. So you've got to move up, you've got to move down, you're looking for a move up. Remember I posed this? The 3,003 pips, the chart that was blocked. That was a fun chart, by the way. I know they were going to block it. That was in a reply to the 1,001 pips we are still waiting for. Right? So it's hyping. I just don't like when people hype. So I like to put a little humor into it. Yeah. We're making a very big consolidation here. And I think the consolidation may break this structure like this one. And then we're either going to go down one more and then up. Look for the divergence in this here. We don't have divergence, right? So look for the divergence here. When we get divergence, then we're going to look for that trade up, right? So we're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure before it goes. We don't have that. This is making a correction. The trade I put was a 1 hour trade. Let's go to the daily. The daily, you notice we're not breaking the lows, right? So the trade we put was that this piece here was making something like a flag and would probably go here before they go back up, right? Break this low before they go back up as a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and then up. That didn't happen, so let's go to the 4 hour and see what happens. Instead of breaking, they actually went up. Well, it's okay, we're not in the trade. There's no need to go crazy about it. We're simply not in the trade. Now, that doesn't mean that this cannot come down back. This is no longer valid. It's no longer a flag. But that doesn't mean it cannot come back. You can't tell what is going to happen next based on the structure you have, because all you have is a move up, a move down, a move up, a move down, and a move up. All of them very small. I don't think this is a triangle. Right? I'm not treating it as a triangle because these two are pretty small moves in comparison to these two. Triangles normally have, more or less equal moves in them. It's a 5 wave structure, but more or less you have like equal, the waves are not equal, but not so like distinctively big and very small like these, right? So it's not a triangle for me, right? So what we're going to look for at this point is if they break this top, make any corrections, we would look for upside. If they come back down, we would look to sell under the low. We would look for a sell setup that will give us a trade under the low. So for next week, you'll have to wait for me to post this. I'll have to wait to see what the structure is doing, which direction it's taking, because it could still come back. Let me just insist they could still come back here for a 3 wave structure. 1, 2, 3, and then go up, right? They could just take off from right here, and we would have this as all the correction in a 1, 2, 3 wave structure up. It's corrective, so which way it goes, we don't know. It's not an impulse, it's not a motive wave that is going to go pretty fast. And it's not very impulsive too. So I still think we're in the correction. I'll still look for probably a short trade down and then the upside. EuroCAD, this one is going up slowly but surely. There is a nice flag here. If you are following me in this one in TradingView, we were looking for this to break. We were looking for it to break. It eventually broke and it started to consolidate. Look for it to break. Look at that 270 there. At that level, we would complete this 3 wave structure. 1, 2, 3 wave structure, and then we can look for the downside. That is 1, 2, 3 wave structure, right? We would look for this trade. This is a more important trade. This trade may not be very nice. To the upside, if you look at this trade here, it may not be very nice. It's going to be a very short and messy trade. But a trade to the downside, as you see from here, right? That's sell setup. Those are nice trades, right? Because they move smooth. You got a very nice pattern. They go up to the top, right? This was your first sell setup that we had. And this one. And then you had another sell setup. See that sell setup? That was a nice one. That one worked out well. There was another sell setup from here as well that we were looking for. So you're going to look for those sell setup as we go. Oh, we have TradingView bring out something new again. How to gain exposure and build a repetition. Okay, let me just remove that for the time being. Let's go back to what we were doing. Yep, come back to our charts. Yep. So watch this. Watch the structure here. See how it goes, right? Let's go to EURUPOUND. EURUPOUND, remember this, we're looking for it to come and retest this low. I still think they can do that. The bigger trade will be to the upside, but right now we need this corrective structure to finish. If it makes a flag here and it looks like they're making a flag there, we're going to get one trade more up. So we will take this trade one at a time, because if this is the big move to the upside, like the Euro New Zealand and the Europe Aus, if they all go, this would be a nice one to follow. This is out of a weekly trend. Let me show you this trade. All of the Euro pairs are showing sign of very big move up. See that? This is your weekly up move. This is your correction, and there's a very good chance we're going up for one more to the upside. The question is whether this correction here is over. I don't think it's over as yet. We will get a much bigger correction in here, and then we're going to take off. So do we have more trades at the top there? I think yes. There's more trades up and down within this correction. So if this goes up as a flag, we'll trade it up, and then we'll trade it back down, and then we'll take the trade to the upside. It's going to be in that sideways move for a very long time. So we'll trade both ways. We needed to start making kind of an angle here, giving us a top and a bottom. We don't have that as yet. For the trade next week, this is your trade to the upside. If you make a flag here, this is your trade to the upside next week. Put that in a 1 hour, let's see. Kind of making a flag there already. So if it breaks, I think you may wait for some more corrections in here, and then take the breakout. This would be a nice trade for next week, right? That is pretty much a trade you'll be looking for. Pong Aus, somebody wants me to go through Pong Aus in details. Let's look at it. Daily, Pong Aus is in an up move. I think this is pretty clear. You're making that up move, so you're making an up move here. It's a good buy. We've been talking about that for a while. 4 hour. This was a buy to the upside when it broke. When it broke this, they made a pullback, and now they're going up. So what you would like to do to get into this buy is wait for a small 60-minute flag here, and then take that trade up, right? So they will make it. They always do. Remember this buy setup, and you had a flag here. So wait for this buy setup, 1 hour. Wait for a flag. They're making one here already. If they don't make a flag, what they'll do, reverse. You don't have a sell setup. It's not a sell setup once they break out, right? So if they make a flag here, you will get a trade to the upside. I'll post that one. Wait for a flag, and then you buy the breakout of the flag. I hope that helps you. Somebody was looking for that one eagerly. They probably took a sell at the bottom. If you took a sell at the bottom, you probably wait for the flag, and if it makes a flag, you need to get out of the trade if you are not out of the trade. But if you took the sell, you should have been out of the trade, right? Let me go back to that EURUSD. I don't know if you're in a sell, right? But if you're in a sell from this one, which is a sell we were looking for last week, a sell on this, that's a lot of pip to get the break even, right? Because this is a corrective structure. So you're looking for this to go up back. Pound New Zealand, let's see what this is doing. Just stay out of it for a while. It's not clear. You see they're making some kind of a big corrective structure, and I still think they can go back to the top as a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. They can still go back to the top. So wait, unless they break this low, I'm not looking to sell this pair. Right? I'm not looking to do any sell here unless they break this low. I'll still be looking for buy opportunities. Pound Chief, we would love them to break this top first and then go down, right? That would confirm what we think, that this is a 1, 2, 3 wave structure and then go down. But if it is going to go down from here, we will sell, right? We just don't have a good sell setup as yet. Not as yet. Let this pull back some more, go back up, and then we're going to have a sell setup here. We'll take this structure, but it is going to go down at least some more, and then we'd look for the trade. Right? So for next week, we're looking for a sell setup here, a short term. I would really love them to not give us the sell setup, rather go back up here, break this stop, and then start to come down with a sell setup here. This would be the trade that will give us good confidence, because that trade will fit the pattern we are looking for, right? And that will add confidence to the trade. Right? There's, this one is iffish, which means if you take the trade, it could be short-lived and go right back up to retest the top. Punkad breakout. We're not trading this as yet. I don't see anything very clear to trade here, right? This is a corrective structure. They're breaking, but it's not going very aggressive. Same thing here. I would like them to break that top. Remember from the bottom, we said we'd like them to break the top, then start to go down. So we're just waiting on this some more. Pound yen, same thing. We would love them to break the top. They didn't go all the way. There is a corrective structure here, and we broke out of that. So do we have a trade to the upside? Let's see. Let me pull this structure. Very short trade here. If you take that trade, you probably want to move it to break even or take profit. If they consolidate here, if they still make a consolidation here within this, above this trend, we would look for short trades up. They will make very short trades to the upside, and they'll probably climb up like that, right? This one actually went like that, very short trades. They will make the short trades until they hit this top, until they hit that top. So we could trade this in a 1 hour all the way to the top here, and then look for the downside. I think there is one more downside in this coming, because this big move here is a corrective structure, right? See that? 1, 2, 3. Remember this one I showed you last week? So the same thing we were expecting here. 1, 2, 3, come back to the top here, maybe even all the way to the trend line, and then the downside. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not interested in the sell setup as yet because I don't see a big sell setup happening. I would like to see a flag and then the move to the upside. Stay out of this one. It is sitting at the top of a trend line there. See that? Sitting at the top of a trend line. They're making consolidations, and it will probably take about a week or so before they, this consolidation is over. So until then, nothing to do with it. Aussie yen, maybe downside. Very short trade if you like next week. Monday, you can get into this trade. This is a pretty short trade. Some of my traders may have been in, may be in that trade already. I know one of my traders in it. You just watch it. We are going to watch it when it breaks this low. And at this point, we'll make a decision what to do, right? Because we still have to see which direction it's going to go. If this is a 3 wave to go back up, let's say they're making a 1, 2, 3 to go back up, we will watch this structure that is coming down and then decide if we want the upside, right? If it keeps going down, you're in the trade. So all you have to do is move your stop. You don't have to worry much, right? Just keep moving your stop. This one could give you a nice short trade next week. I think all of us, we can see this very clearly within this pattern. You're within this pattern here. So this is your trade for next week. Keep your eyes on that one. It's already making a flag here. Not so much of a flag, more of a structure, a pretty sharp move up. So in the break of this, you can look for this trade here. Right? If it just keep going up, don't worry. You don't have a trade, because there's nothing there that says you should buy this. That's where you have to be careful. Sometimes it's moving doesn't mean you have a trade, right? We're not trying to catch every single move in every single chart. That's not your aim as traders, because you will never be able to trade if you do that, right? You got to look for the patterns that gives you the highest probability trade, and those you go with. So if I said sell the breakout here and this thing go back up, that's okay. Don't panic. Don't start messing yourself up. It's okay, right? Let it go up. And when it breaks its structure, we would look for the buy setup, right? It's not giving you a buy setup. Don't jump into it, right? Don't have a winner's mentality. A winner's mentality normally in trading don't work good. People who are trying to be winners in the market in trading, they normally lose their account. You got to have a trading mentality, a business mentality towards it, right? Because otherwise you're going to definitely don't get the trades. CAD yen, let's see what we're going to do with this. 4 hours. We'll look for downside. We'll see if we get this downside here. Watch this consolidation, and we could probably get a trade to the downside and maybe a breakout here. Because remember, we're looking for a sell on the CAD yen, right? There, all of you remember I posted this trade. Watch for this breakout here, but that never broke out. That actually went up some more. So now we're going to look for this breakout, and hopefully that it breaks out of this structure, because it could break out of that structure, right? There's a very strong probability that this could break out of this structure to the downside, right? Because if you look at it, they're making a corrective structure here. This one came down. Let's see if this comes down, and then we're going to look to see if it breaks. Aussie, New Zealand, we already looked at this. Silver, somebody wanted to see more details in silver. I think silver will break this structure. I showed this last week. Silver is in a corrective structure, and even if it goes up to the top here, they would likely come back. I would want to see them break this structure here first, come back into this sell zone, this buy zone, sorry, and here is where we're going to buy to the upside. So you would see me start looking to buy silver somewhere around 1750, 17, and anywhere below there. I'll be buying silver, right? So there is at least one more move to the upside. Hopefully there's one more big move to the upside now. One of my trader was looking at the possibility of this being a 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't think that is a 1, 2, 3. So as they come down to the bottom here, we will see that we would look at this corrective structure that they're making, and you can already see that it's going sideways. I think by now all of you figure out what we do. You can see this go sideways, and that means we look for that trade up. So it's a little too early. If they're going to break so early, if they're going to go up so early, the only way you can trade this is a breakout of this top. I don't think that's a good idea because we'll be buying at 20 and it may only go to about 25, I don't know, and then come back down, right? So we would like to get it from somewhere around 16, 15, 16, 17, because I don't think they're going to go very low as well, right? Okay, somebody's asking a question. You're in the US, Chief. Do you think I should get out of the trade now being in positive, or do you think I should just move your stop loss? If you ask me, never. You hardly want to get out of a trade, especially if it's going in your direction. Now, if your strategy says this is your take profit, then you take profit there. But most time, if you're a long-term trader and you're in trades, you want the market to take you out. That's my way of trading. I want the market to take me out. I don't want to get out of the trade. I'd rather the market take me out. Goal. Remember last week we said it's probably going to come back to the top here, and then it's probably going to come down back. Easy, right? It's probably doing the same thing. Nothing new here, right? It's just coming down back. So it's coming down back. Watch it when it comes here, and this is where you may want to look for buy setups to go, because if they do this, they're likely going to break straight up, right? They're going to go straight up. You can always buy anytime they break this structure. It could be a buy. Right now, do we have a sell setup to go down? There was a small, I don't see anything serious here, but if they make a flag, if they give you a nice flag here, you can look for a sell setup. I don't see a sell setup right now. Okay, I hope you got that. That's great. Oil still in the correction. And you have to wait because there's a chance this is going to come back down. There's a chance it's going to break out. We don't know which it's going to do. And I don't think you should trade this as it is right now, because you have to wait for the structure to give you some confirmation as to the direction it's going to go, right? Natural gas, same thing, in a very big consolidation. We're going to look for upside. We're trying to buy this, not so much sell it, right? If they start to break that top, we would look for an entry to the upside, but I think very likely we're going to see more downside. I think we're going to see this come back, maybe retest this low before they go. This is a big correction, but once they start going out, if they start breaking out of this structure here, any flag after that would be a buy. If they break out here and they make a flag, would be a buy setup for us, right? So right now we're just waiting on it, right? We're not doing anything in that as yet. What else you guys may want to see? I think for those who are in Nifty, I've been doing this for them. It's making some correction. I think it will continue to go up. We don't see reason for it to turn as yet. It could turn, but I don't see reason for this to turn as yet. If you're in a short-term trade, you should be out of it by now. Watch for a deeper pullback here. And then see if you get an next trade up, right? Just like this one. See if you get an next trade up. When it starts to pull back, you want to get out of the trade, right? And what else we can show you? We can show you, I think, the S&P 500. It's making a deeper pullback. See that? By the way, if any one of my traders took that sell setup, you're doing well. This is what we showed this morning. You can sell this if you want, because it's going to come back into this section. We're looking for it to come back here. Come back to about the trend line here. And then look for upside. So it's just a corrective structure they're making on the 4-hour. So you can actually see they're going probably come back here, but we're looking for a deeper correction. So I think it will go more down and then go back up. Bitcoin, okay, let's do Bitcoin for those who are in Bitcoin. Daily, I don't post Bitcoin so often, but it's in an uptrend. So you're actually looking for buys. You see, you made an impulse, you pull back, you made an impulse, you pull back. You're looking for one more impulse up, right? That is probably this impulse starting already. If you're in the trade, move your stop to break even. If you're not inside, wait for a pullback and then get in, right? Wait for a flag, don't jump in, wait for a flag. It makes flag. Bitcoin make a nice flag. So see, that was a nice small flag for a sell. This was a nice flag for a sell. So, and when they go up, they make flags as well. See, let's assume you're in this stage of that trade now where it made that. It will make a flag here, it will make a flag here for a buy, right? Both of those were buy setups. So if you're in that stage here now, eventually they will make a flag here, and then you'd look for that trade. You don't have a sell setup. I would not sell this until it breaks this structure, right? If you're trading Bitcoin, you don't want to sell until it breaks this structure, that is this up move that is in, right? This is an uptrend. So until it breaks the trend, you don't want to, you don't want to do anything there. I think this move up would be the last one. This one would be the last one. Retest this top here. Retest that top, and then you can probably see the down move. It's going to make a down move to retest these lows. Right? It's more in like a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. So this will be an impulse up, and then you're going to look for downside. I think I posted that structure a while back, either in the monthly or in the, let's see, I have it in the monthly, that break 3 wave structure. Nope, not here. Maybe in some other chart I posted it. Even the daily. No, I don't think I have it here, even in the daily. So in some other chart, that's a big 3 wave structure you're looking for actually. So keep an eye on it. It's going up. What else? Somebody asked, New Zealand, DAX, oh, we're getting too much now. New Zealand CAD, let that be the last one, because after that, we're gonna have too much. New Zealand CAD, it's in an uptrend. We're making a consolidation here. Go back to the daily so you can see that. There's a top happening there, right? So what you would look for now is either they can continue to go or they can break back to the low, right? If they're going to break back to the low, any break of this structure will be a trade back to retest these lows. If they continue to go, I want to see them break out of this top, literally break out of that top, and then pull back before you start trading it, because that will be a trend to the upside and a long-term trend. 4 hour. It's looking like you could get the downside. You see they're kind of failing here. You see the divergence in the chart. So you probably want to look for a break of this structure. Put it in a 1 hour. Let's see if we have a better. Nope. I would wait for the break of this structure. Let them break through first. That will confirm the downside for you. Pull back and you will get in exactly at the same spot it is right now. But you will get in after the consolidation, not before. Right? Did move up without divergence? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Somebody said this one just broke the 60 minutes flag. Let's see what you're talking about. 60 minutes flag. Oh, broke out of the top, not a 60-minute flag. This is a whole big structure. Yep, that's good. That means we should see all the pairs going down some more, right? Euro going down some more. Aussie, Pong going down a little. You notice Pong is still within that structure. Euro gone for. Aussie going down some more. Also broke out. And New Zealand coming down some more, right? That's just common sense. So let it go. As long as they keep going, we're okay, right? And that confirms what we think. We may see breakout in all of these structures next week. Okay? I think Friday afternoon, when the pair is already moving, you don't want to be in. You should be in that pair already. You don't want to jump in at the bottom here. That's emotional trading. You would lose your account if you do that. Wait for the pullback and then get in the trade. So, okay, guys, I know it's Friday afternoon. I'm keeping you guys back too much. I hope you all enjoy it. I would see all of you next week. Hopefully, I'll have the time to do that. I'll see all of you next Friday. I'll post it a little earlier. It will be on YouTube, so you guys could look at it. I'll post it over the weekend. And don't forget to check my profile out on TradingView. Right? See all of you, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.